Hey there, I'm Donna from Waynesboro, Virginia, and I love listening to Derringer Discoveries.
In your sister's room, that's where it started.
Hello, this is Paul.
This is Laura.
And I'm Alton.
We are Team Derringer.
And you are listening to Derringer Discoveries,
where we take you, the listener, on an adventure.
A music adventure.
This is episode 60, The Wombats and Child of Books, with special guest Sasha Petrin.
The Wombats are an English indie rock trio formed in Liverpool.
I'm back in Liverpool and everything seems the same.
For the past 21 plus years, they have been releasing compelling songs and albums that have collectively sold more than 1 million copies, not to mention a lot of streaming on the various digital streaming platforms.
A small piece of advice that took 22 years in the making.
Throughout the years, they have charted in 10 or so countries, including chart success in the U.S.
Please learn from my mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. Let's dance to Joy Division.
Presently, they have more than 3 million monthly listeners on Spotify.
Listeners, our special guest, Sasha Petrin, is a big fan of the Wombats.
Let's dance to Joy Division and raise our glass to the ceiling, 'cause this could all go so wrong, but we're so happy and we're so happy.
Sasha, welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Great to have you.
It's a pleasure to be here.
We're glad to have you with us.
We will let today's special guest, Sasha Petrin, tell us about Child of Books, also known as COB.
Child of Books is my one-band project that I created 5 years ago.
Do you know that we all just gonna die?
And I've started writing and recording songs when I was really, really young with the help of my beautiful friend Anton Boyko, who's also my sound engineer and producer, and my second father, who showed me how to be a good musician.
Yeah.
We've got this life.
All right, Sasha, I'm getting ready to rapid fire some questions. Do you write alone? What instruments do you play? Where do you record? Who plays with you on your recordings?
So my principal instruments are guitar and vocals, but I was classically trained on piano, and I also play bass.
It might seem terrible and beautiful, so dark and dry. We've got some time
I do my own demos and I produce them and I arrange them.
to make a mess, life and be a dream and fight.
And then I sent it to my beautiful producer in Moscow. And then I recorded his studio whenever I'm back in my home country, which doesn't happen as often anymore.
It should be like we can be on the wildfire road.
Child of Books, which is the alter ego of our special guest today, Sasha Petrin from Moscow, Russia.
Ciao, sono Camilla Passani, sono una cantautrice italiana di Roma e ascolto Derringer Discoveries.
This is Dave the Rave Derringer, former radio disc jockey from Lynchburg, Virginia, USA, reaching out to disc jockeys around the world.
You are listening to Derringer Discoveries,
with listeners in more than 30 countries.
Since Sasha is our special guest, he got to pick the major recording artists we count down.
Let's dance to Joy Division.
In this episode, we will count down Sasha's 5 favorite songs by the Wombats.
We're so happy.
Sasha, tell our listeners why you're a fan of the Wombats and when you first started listening to them.
I first started listening to them when me and my elder brother were watching a TV series, a British TV series called The In-Betweeners.
Brett Clement.
Yep.
You know this is an Australian driving licence.
Yep.
So you're Australian.
That's right, mate.
So when's your birthday?
15th of bloody May 1989.
I've met someone that makes me feel seasick.
If you ever seen the movie American Pie,
Oh, yeah.
it's the same spirit, just even more crude and obscene.
Is that possible?
Oh, and this one time at band camp?
One of Wombats' songs, Kill the Director, was the main theme song.
If this is a rom-com, kill the director, please.
So I checked them out and I fell in love. And dare I say, I got inspired or stole lots of their tricks, especially the way they write bridges in songs. They tend to make bridges bigger than the choruses.
It's funny you should mention Kill the Director. Isn't that the song that mentions This Is Not Bridget Jones over and over again?
This is no Bridget Jones. This is no Bridget. This is no Bridget Jones. This is no Bridget.
Yeah. And also, they took the themes of self-irony and doubt, and they show that you can have all the self-doubt, can have a low self-esteem, and you can be cool, and it can sound cool.
Listeners, the Wombats is a trio from the UK. The three members are Dan Haggis on lead vocals and guitar, Tora Overland Knudsen on bass and backing vocals, and Matthew Murphy on drums and backing vocals.
Listeners, it's time now for the countdown. Sasha Petrin's top 5 favorite songs so far by the Wombats.
Special guest pick number 5.
Sasha's pick number 5 by the Wombats is Kill the Director from 2007.
I've met someone that makes me feel seasick.
Kill the Director is from their debut major studio album called The Wombats Proudly Present a Guide to Love, Loss, and Desperation.
Here's another song about a gender I'll never understand.
Kill the Director was written by the 3 members of the band and produced by the band with Steve Harris.
This is a rom-com, kill the director.
The song peaked at number 35 on the UK singles chart, and the UK is the only country where it charted.
This is a rom-com, kill the director.
Kill the Director contains the famous line,
This is no Bridget Jones.
Sasha, is that why you like that song so much? Is because of that line?
Yes. I think as musicians, we earn our living by over-romanticizing tragedy. And this song is essentially saying, we should not do that. This is no Bridget Jones. Kill the director.
Kill the director, please.
listeners, that's Sasha's pick number 5, Kill the Director by the Wombats.
Hello, this is Tim in East London in the United Kingdom, and you're listening to Derringer Discoveries.
Tina Boonstra, recording and touring artist from the United Kingdom, listens to Derringer Discoveries.
Special guest pick number 4.
Sasha's pick number 4 by the Wombats is Greek Tragedy from 2015.
We're smashing mics in karaoke bars.
Greek Tragedy was the lead single from the Wombats' 3rd studio album, Glitterbug.
This method acting might pay our bills.
Greek Tragedy was written and produced by the 3 members of the band, along with Mark Crew co-producing.
I love this feeling, but I hate this part.
The song charted in 7 countries, including the UK, the US, and the Czech Republic. Hello, Tilly Simon, our listener in the Czech Republic.
Indeed.
In the US, yeah, Tilly. In the US, Greek Tragedy peaked at number 32 on the alternative airplay, the AA chart.
My character's strong, but my head is loose. She hits like ecstasy.
Sasha, tell our listeners why you chose Greek Tragedy as your pick number 4 for favorite songs by the Wombats.
It's a very ironic take on relationships.
The tarot cards say it's not so bad.
And the song essentially describes a very traumatizing relationship that is just an emotional roller coaster.
So free up the cheaper seats.
And this Greek Tragedy, the title, which is only mentioned once in the song.
We're going to find that snippet where he mentions Greek Tragedy 1 time in the song.
Here comes a Greek tragedy.
There it is. That's the snippet where the title of the song is mentioned.
That is very unusual for pop artists, because that's how we want to market our material. We want to mention the name of the song as many times as we can.
Here comes a Greek tragedy.
At number 4, as picked by today's guest, Sasha Petrin, that is Greek Tragedy by the Wombats.
This is recording artist Katie Tish from Baltimore, Maryland in the United States. I listen to Derringer Discoveries.
Hi, this is Jeff Roberts from Charlottesville, Virginia. I'm a Derringer Discoveries fan.
I'm Cheryl. I listen to Derringer Discoveries for all the snippets.
East London's not a bomb site.
Special guest pick number 3.
Sasha's pick number 3 by the Wombats is Technofan from their 2011 album. The Wombats proudly present This Modern Glitch.
She said I should come over, though the music's not my type.
Technofan was written and produced by the band.
Shut up and move with me, or get out of my face.
The song charted in 2 countries, the UK and Japan. And hey, shout out to Brian Cooper, who's currently living in Japan by way of the UK. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
I didn't queue for an hour to leave straight away.
In Japan, the song peaked at number 23 on the Japan Hot 100.
The lasers fill our minds with empty plans. I never knew I
Sasha, why did you choose Technofan as your third favorite song by the Wombats?
I think thematically it's such a great concept because if you look at the lyrics, it's essentially, I went to a party with someone I knew. I thought I didn't like techno music, but the party was so cool, I ended up liking techno music.
I never knew I was a techno fan.
And it just really shows to all the songwriters like me that you can pick any topic and write a really good song about it.
Just shut up and move with me, or get out of my face.
Listeners, at number 3, as picked by today's special guest, Sasha Petrin, that's Technofan by the Wombats.
I never knew I was a techno fan.
Hi, my name is Alana Joy and I'm the lead singer of alternative rock band Lost Youth from Cape Town, South Africa. I love listening to Derringer Discoveries.
Jy luister na Derringer Discoveries, 'n musiekavontuur podcast.
Special guest pick number 2.
Now on to Sasha's pick number 2, which is the Wombats' Your Body is a Weapon from 2013.
Sometimes I like to go uptown.
It's from the album Glitterbug, the same album as Sasha's pick number 4, Greek Tragedy.
Here comes a Greek tragedy.
Your Body is a Weapon was written and produced by the 3 members of the band.
You can taste the pretense in the air.
The song charted in 2 countries, the UK and Australia. Shout out to our many fans and listeners in Australia.
Are you Australian?
I certainly am.
Sasha, tell our listeners why you chose Your Body as a Weapon as your pick number 2.
Thematically, it's the same as the infamous song Creep by Radiohead.
I wish I was special, but I'm a creep.
It's essentially, I'm not good enough to be with this person.
Is it such fantasy that I should think someone like you could love a creep like me?
But again, the take is very ironic. Your body is a weapon, love, and it makes me want to cry.
Your body is a weapon, love, and it makes me want to cry.
My body is a temple of doom, doomed not to be by your side. Let's go. She's not only too beautiful, she's also from a higher class. And that's an additional reason why the main protagonist feels undeserving.
Like my job when I do it well. It's freelance work and it pays like hell.
Sasha, I can tell you really appreciate the storytelling in songs.
Yeah, I try to.
I could get us a place with 1 bedroom. Who needs a friend when I've got you?
Listeners, at number 2, as picked by today's special guest, Sasha Petrin, that's Your Body is a Weapon by the Wombats.
And the minuscule chance of some close proximity or an awkward conversation with you. Yeah, that'd be cool.
This is Søren Koch from Denmark. I am the bassist for the Zombies, who are members of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I enjoy listening to Derringer Discoveries, a music adventure podcast.
Estella Dawn, recording and touring artist from California, listens to Derringer Discoveries.
Special guest top choice. Pick number 1.
I jump from thought to thought like a flea jumps to a lie. You could give an aspirin the headache if it's lies.
Sasha's top pick number 1 by the Wombats, is a song called Turn. That's Turn.
Maybe it's the crazy that I admit.
Turn is from 2017 and 2018. It was the second single from the Wombats' 4th studio album titled Beautiful People Will Ruin Your Life. I love some of these titles by the Wombats. They're just amazing. The titles themselves get my attention.
Watering plastic plants in the hope that they'll grow.
Turn was written by the band. That we've been consistent on this. They're giving credit to all 3 members on these songs.
Maybe it's the crazy that I admit.
And it was written while they were here in the U.S., in New York to be specific.
It won't get better than this.
Turn was produced this time around by 3 well-known producers. Mark Crew, who we've mentioned, Marius D. Hagen, and Catherine Marks. And listeners, Catherine Marks has produced songs by a number of popular recording artists, including The Killers.
We got engaged on a Friday night.
That's right, The Killers, who we have featured twice. So check out our back catalog on The Killers. Sasha, you've been quoting lyrics from the Wombats. Now I'm going to quote a lyric from the Wombats. Turn gives a shout out to Canadian superstar recording artist Drake. The best memories are the ones that we forget, like listening to Drake at your best friend's swimming pool.
They say the best memories are the ones that we forget.
Lead vocalist and guitarist Matthew Murphy stated that he and his wife were in fact listening to Drake at the time.
Listening to Drake at your best friend's swimming pool.
Turn charted in 2 countries, and this is kind of a repeated pattern. They charted in the UK, which is where they're from, but they also charted in the US. In the UK, they peaked at number 20 on the UK indie chart, and in the US, on the US Alternative Airplay, the AA chart, it peaked at number 36. Sasha, tell our listeners why you chose Turn as your top pick, your number 1 favorite song so far by the Wombats.
First of all, the opening line, you could give an aspirin the headache of its life.
You could give an aspirin the headache of its life.
It's just bloody brilliant. I use it in real life all the time. And again, it's a look at a very tumultuous relationship in hindsight and going, well, maybe it's the crazy.
Maybe it's the crazy that I missed.
And the crazy ones, the crazy partners, they make the memories you wouldn't want to forget.
Yeah. And it's a great line. I'm glad you didn't give the second part. Maybe it's the BS. Listeners, at number 1, as picked by today's guest, Sasha Petrin, that is the song Turn by the Wombats.
Hi listeners, this is Lena Cooper from Los Angeles, California. I listen to Derringer Discoveries.
I'm David in the United States. I listen to Derringer Discoveries and love the commentary, and most of all, I love learning little tidbits about different groups that I never even thought of.
Well, Sasha, as we wrap up this episode, do you have any shout-outs to friends, family, or fans?
Thank you everybody who listens to my music and who leaves nice comments on the social platforms. It means a lot. You're just saving my self-esteem every day and making my gigantic ego even bigger.
We're smashing mics in karaoke bars.
Shout out to my family, shout out to my manager Chris, and shout out to my roommate Peter, who is an incredible opera singer.
Can I circle back to your manager, Chris? I'm impressed. Chris definitely handled getting a connection with us.
It comes a Greek tragedy.
Today's special guest, who goes by the name of Child of Books, COB, and his name is Sasha Petrin. Sasha, you have a voice that just captures my attention. Your lyrics are very engaging, and your music production is out of this world. So I hope you're okay, but I'd like to play snippets of Runner.
From the truth and yourself, from being just a number. Never get what you crave, you're just another runner.
That's a snippet of Runner by Child of Books. Middle Class Man.
I'm just a middle class man with an average faith. To get smothered long before I could make it into deep, deep space.
That's a snippet of Middle Class Man, also by Child of Books. And then my personal favorite, I never get tired of hearing this song, Dream and Fight.
Dream and Fight is also my favorite song.
We've got this life. It might seem terrible and beautiful, so dark and bright. We've got some time to make a mess, laugh and be a dream and fight.
And that's Dream and Fight by today's special guest, Child of Books, who is actually Sasha Petrin.
Thank you. I'm honored to be a guest.
Well, you're more than a guest. Laura, what's the special prize that Sasha gets today?
That's right. Sasha, after today, you are now an honorary Derringer.
And there was much rejoicing.
So you are Sasha Derringer. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure our listeners are going to love checking out your catalog, and really glad that you chose the Wombats. I have to confess, I wasn't super familiar with their music, so thank you so much for that. It kind of reintroduced me to them.
Thank you all again.
Until next time, this is Laura Derringer.
This is Alton Derringer.
I'm Paul Derringer.
And I'm Sasha Petrin, aka Child of Books. Thank you all.
You've been listening to Derringer Discoveries,
a music adventure podcast.
For the song snippets featured in this episode, all songs by the Wombats are copyrighted by the Wombats. All songs by Child of Books are copyrighted by Sasha Petrin and Child of Books. And the DD theme song is Your Sister's Room by Hojo Fro. Snippets were used in this episode to aid in the discussion of the songs. We encourage listeners to support and listen to the Wombats and Child of Books on your favorite digital streaming platforms.
Listeners, you can also follow us on social media. We're at Derringer Discoveries on Facebook and at Derringer Pod on Instagram, Threads, and X, the platform formerly known as Twitter. You can also reach out to us by sending an old school email to feedback@derringerdiscoveries.com.
In your sister's room. That's where it started. In your sister's
Oh, Alton. All right, you're a Derringer, aren't you?
We make a lot of mistakes.
That's why we edit 20 to 30 hours of editing.
And tell us a song of yours that you want our listeners to hear, and we're going to play a little snippet of it.
I'm trying to figure out where we are.
By Child of Books, which is the alter ego of our special guest today, Sasha. Guys, help me out here. Now that thank you. Special guest today, Sasha Petrin from Moscow, Russia.
It's his nickname.
Oh, I thought you.
Come on, Paul.
I thought you were studying.
Give her the program.
Sorry.
Alton, who is on drums and backing vocals?
All right. We got to get through this somehow.